now. That's the other semi-final that took place.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of controversy in that game. We're going to talk about the VAR decision or the offside goal towards the end. But the game was not short of storylines. Bayern came in the second half. Alfonso Davies scored one of those belters that you've only imagined. And on a stage like this, for him to score his first goal
Mm-hmm.
for Bayern in this manner on this stage at the Bernabeau. It was unbelievable, yeah. But they still lost out on aggregate with two last minute, waning minute, two goals in the waning minutes from a player that nobody really expected would be able to do anything. It almost
You have
feels
to
like
say, you have to
Ancelotti,
say, you
Ancelotti
have to
threw
say
him
a
on just
former,
for the
you have
sake
to say, yeah,
of
a
having
former.
bodies up there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up with the goods. 88 minute and 1 minute after the board went up for injury time, he scored
Mm-hmm.
two goals that saw Real Madrid waltz into the finals. Let's talk a little bit about that game.
A
What did you
former,
see happen? What are your quick thoughts about it, and how do you gauge Real Madrid's performance on that day?
a former Stoke City player scores 2 goals against Bayern
Yes,
to take Real
the
Madrid to the final.
semifinals of the Champions League.
33-year-old player on loan from Barcelona Espanyol.
Yeah,
Yeah, football,
yeah,
football, football.
it's
So
football.
yes, I never doubted Bayern Munich giving Real Madrid this headache. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes you don't focus on club or league performance. Certain teams, when they get to a certain level of a competition, the only way you could stop Bayern from performing good is get rid of them in the group stage or round of 16. Once they go past that round of 16, teams like that will always give you the toughest time. And they have the players, they have the quality. And Tuchel is not a bad coach. We've seen him. He's played
A
well
pretty
with
good coach.
Dortmund. He's played well with PSG. He's played well with Chelsea. It's just that things are not going the way. First of all, I think maybe some of the players at Bayern did not endorse him replacing Nagelsmann. So
Yeah,
things are not working. He's been at loggerheads with players like Kimmich, who are some of the leaders in the team. So things didn't just go well with him at Bayern. But Tuchel is a good tactician. He may not be good for league. That takes 30 days. But those cup games, those championships that you need 10 games or 12 games to make it to the finals.
to make it
Watch
happen.
out would,
Yeah,
yeah,
and he's also
watch
an
out, yeah,
enforcer, right? He's also a stickler for rules because he had those
yeah.
same issues at Chelsea, where some of
Mhm,
these big players, quote unquote, did not necessarily want to abide by certain rules, and
mhm,
so he had to put his stamper down, and it kind of caused that friction. That kind of cost him
mhm,
his job in the end.
yeah,
And we're almost seeing the same thing happen here, right?
yeah. So
But that's not to say he's not a good coach.
yeah,
I
yeah,
hear
yeah.
rumors about him going to Man U. Do you think that's
I
necessarily a
yeah,
good move?
he's been even before the Liverpool made the decision. His name was around Barcelona. His name has been around Bayern Munich. Sorry, staying at Bayern. His name has been around Barcelona. That's to tell
Mhm.
you that he has what it takes. If you still
Yeah.
have some of those top clubs, even just rumor about him shows that he's still around. So my
Mhm.
point is this. Let me go back to the game.
Mhm.
Yeah. Some people blaming Manuel Neuer for
Yeah.
giving away that goal. But some people at the same time forgetting the amount of decisive saves he had
He made.
made before
Yeah.
that goal.
For that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, before that moment. Yeah, I wouldn't say that he messed up. I would say his mistake cost that goal because he had been
Is
fantastic
that
before
necessarily
that
a
moment.
mistake though? Is that a mistake? Because as a keeper, when the ball dips in front of you, you don't know how it's gonna bounce up and
I know someone. Yeah, I know. Sometimes someone will say, "Don't catch, try to punch it out."
yeah.
Some people will say that. So, um, yeah, some people say no, and then some people say Harry Kane had the chance to kill it, to make it two, and he didn't make it. But this
Let's
is
talk
my
about
point.
Harry Kane then. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Harry.
If we go to Harry Kane, I finally decided that
He's
the
never gonna
Harry
win
Kane.
a title.
No, the Harry Kane curse is true.
It's following him.
If Harry Kane signs for Madrid, Madrid is not going to win any titles any
Yeah.
title anytime soon. I think there's a curse. There's a Harry Kane curse because it doesn't make sense. Even Bayern had been struggling last season. They had to win the league
They still won the league. They still
the
won the league
last
on the
day,
last
and
day.
then you improve your team because no one left. Harry Kane came in. He scored
Mhm.
how many goals? Maybe over 40 goals in every
30
competition
plus
this
30,
season.
36 plus goals. 36
That's
actually.
that's that's
Last
just the league. That's just
yeah,
the
that's
league.
the
I mean,
league.
including
36 goals in
Champions
the
League. He's
league.
the top scorer in the Champions League, right? So he
PFA
scored
Cup,
about 40
he
something.
scored. Yep.
But
Yep.
still, Bayern goes trophyless. They eliminated in the cup by third tier team. They eliminated Champions League. They didn't win the league. Yeah, so I think so. There's something wrong. There's something
It's the
around
Spurs curse. It's the Spurs
Hurricane.
curse.
Yeah, there's something around Hurricane. And it's not just the Spurs, but he himself that's saying there's a curse around. He brings that curse.
He needs to
So
go. He needs to go to
yeah,
the
I don't
Spurs
know.
village.
There's something happening about him.
Something
There's
is
something
happening
happening
there.
around him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and
So
he's seriously though. Seriously, Hurricane is probably the best footballer who is going to go down in history without any of these top honors. Not a World Cup, not a European Cup, not even a Premier League title, not
not even a cup,
just
not even a Carabao Cup.
not even a Community Shield,
That's
right?
it. Not even a community shield. So that's why I'm saying it's a
And
curse.
it
You
sucks.
know?
It really
Yeah.
sucks because
So
he's so talented. He is so
no,
talented.
he is, he
The
is, he is,
goal,
he is,
the
he
goal
is.
that he Alfonso Davies scored was all Hurricane.
Yes. So
Movement, attack.
that's where I want to come back. Some people,
Mhm.
yeah, that's where I want to come back. What I'm saying is this. We'll go back to the game. If you noticed, Rudiger and Nacho,
Yes,
they were all playing in their half of the game on the Madrid side of the game, all through the game until they had to sub Musiala and Hurricane
Hurricane.
to bring in Mola and Choupo-Moting. And then those guys became comfortable and they started moving forward. So
Yeah,
I
and
still
that's
think
another thing.
to an extent, even though I'm giving Thomas Tuchel his flowers, I think there was an error. He made some. I think
No, but the thing is, people keep saying that he shouldn't have subbed. If you notice, there was a point where the ball was passed to Vinicius, and
Mhm.
Hurricane was almost limping towards
Yeah,
him.
this is my point. If you're taking off Hurricane
Hmm.
and Musiala, right?
Hmm.
I will stabilize the midfield by bringing in Goretzka.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. I may be wrong, but I thought he would have stabilized the midfield by bringing in Goretzka. He brought in
Defender.
the defender Kim
Yeah,
for
Kim.
Leroy Sané. I
Yeah,
thought it was a little bit early, but at some time he wanted to stabilize his back line. But if
because
you're taking
Chomeni
off
was also injured. That's
if
why
you're taking off who?
Chomeni was injured. Chomeni is
Okay,
actually
yes,
no, not
yes.
Chomeni. Sorry. What was it? Sane. It was Sane. Sane was also limping.
These guys,
So I think
yeah. My problem is bring in someone like Goretzka who could stabilize the midfield a little bit because
midfield.
the young guy Pavlovic was really good, but at some point he was a little tired. So you needed someone who had
Yeah.
more energy to assist him and Lima because Lima had a really good game. Conrad
Yes.
Lima had a
Yes.
really good game. So that's where I look
So
at
this
it.
is
That there was a little bit of game man. I don't know if I'll call it game management, but I
man
think maybe
management thing.
the subs were not really.
So this is
Musala,
how I look at it.
you're leading 1-0. Musala is even
Mhm.
though he didn't have a good game as he usually does, but he's good with the ball. Keep some of those players that could
Amen.
commit the fouls, that could keep the ball for maybe 10 or 15 more seconds. Keep them on the
Okay.
pitch. Yeah, that's how I look at
Yeah.
it. Because
So
yeah,
I'm looking at
Kane
it
was
this way.
limping. Take off
I'm
Kane, bring Goretzka.
Yeah, I look
That's
at
how
it
I
this
look at
way.
it.
I look at it this way.